everyone. Good morrow. Happy Saturday. Hopefully you are off to a good Saturday already. Looks like it's going to be another beautiful day. A little cooler than it was yesterday, at least in our area. But yesterday was pretty hot for some folks. Hopefully it's okay for you. It's funny. Everybody in our household was sick yesterday. So we weren't able to do anything. We had to cancel the majority of our plans. But I did. My wife loves when we have to cancel the majority of our plans because that means the most of our that I'm home and I can do all these chores that she always wants me to do that I never have time to do because our schedule is just so packed. And yesterday, I installed the blind in our bedroom, and it's working. It's up there. When I installed the brackets for these blinds, though, there's supposed to be these plastic screw stoppers that are supposed to go over the screw into the bracket somehow. I looked at the instructions, and like most instructions, they're just incredibly difficult to follow. And I couldn't figure out, meaning the picture in no way resembles reality. So I'm trying to get it into the screw stopper, into the bracket, the way that it's supposed to go in the instructions. And sure enough, I can't figure it out. So I just put it in without the screw stopper. I said, well, let me put it in, see if it works. So the brackets are kind of loose, but so far these blinds have not come cratering down. So the blind is up. Hopefully it stays that way. So it is very interesting. My wife will always ridicule my lack of ability to put things together or anything. And yet she still keeps asking me to put them together. So you would think I kind of get it. I kind of get it, the worst of both worlds. I still get all the chores that a handy person would get, yet I get the ridicule of a non-handy person. You would think if I got the ridicule that I would be entitled to a little bit of a reprieve from that, but that them's the breaks. I'll never forget when I was about 13 or 14, my next door neighbor was Brian Silverstein. And he described to me a phone conversation that he had. He was home alone and or with his sister, I don't remember, and his parents were out. And he gets a phone call, and a guy calls and he says, "This is the blind man." And I thought, what an unusual way to introduce yourself. I mean, are we talking about somebody that's visually impaired or something else? And then ultimately he clears things up and he says, "Tell your mother the blinds will be installed tomorrow." And here poor Brian is left wondering, does that mean there should be a seeing eye dog involved or something? But I just thought that's interesting. Does he refer to himself as the blind man everywhere? I thought that was pretty funny. So that's that. All right. Those of you that are watching this, please be so good as to share it and like and comment so that more people can see this video. Hopefully you have a good Saturday. Let me begin by offering my condolences to Morgan Spurlock, who passed away yesterday at the age of 53. I was a big fan of Morgan Spurlock. In fact, I have one of his books here. See, I can always find the books that I don't necessarily need, although it's not a good example. This was a really interesting book. It was also a real. Oh, see, you got the sun coming in. Clearly, the blind situation is not great here. This is Where in the World is Osama bin Laden, and it's all about his attempt to find Osama bin Laden. And he did a documentary about it as well. And it's really interesting. It's about a lot more than just finding Osama bin Laden. It's an interesting look at the whole Middle East, especially life in Afghanistan, Saudi Arabia, Pakistan, and Egypt. And it's clever and it's kind of funny, but it's also very serious journalism and political commentary. I mean, every page, it really delves into some of the complexities of what's gone on in the Middle East, especially post September 11th. So obviously he's best known for Super Size Me, where he ate nothing but McDonald's for 30 straight days. That's what kind of put him on the map. But I didn't know him. I think I got to interview him once. I know I produced a couple of interviews that he had done. If I could get my hard drive working, I would play for you on the radio tomorrow night the interview that he did with Curtis Sliwa maybe about 10 years ago, which was quite interesting. I think promoting this very book and documentary. But so he passed away. I don't know that they've said what the causes of his passing are. I don't think it had anything to do with excessive McDonald's consumption, but 53 years old, just so young, so young. So I'm so sorry to see that. I was a fan of his work, and while I didn't really know him, he was somebody that seemed like he had just a great sense of humor and a tremendous lust for life and a love of life. So sorry to see that. So condolences to everybody that did know him, including his family and his friends. We have been, as you know, if you heard the radio program on Friday, sidelined with this stomach bug. It hit Rachel very hard on Thursday night, and then on Friday morning, my son got up and he devoured some chocolate milk, and then promptly vomited and was not allowed to have dairy or chocolate milk for the rest of the day. Now he's in the next room watching a little Bluey, and I have given him chocolate milk for the first time in 24 hours. So we'll see if his stomach can handle this chocolate milk. If it can, then I think we might be out of the woods. So we'll see. And again, if you're one of the 23 people so good as to watch this, please be so good as to share it. Give a share, give a like, give a comment. That'll help more people. Let us know you're there. Thank you, Michael Cutler, checking in. A great listener, great viewer, one of our great subscribers. And the 19 people watching on Twitter, please be so good as to give us a retweet. So that's that. I was really looking forward to going to Coney Island last night. Coney Island is one of my favorite places to visit other than Atlantic City. And we had made arrangements to go with my brother, Nicholas, and sister-in-law to the Cyclones baseball game. And we were going to do the whole Coney Island boardwalk stroll and just take in some of the incredible amenities that Coney Island has to offer. It's just a wonderful community that I just love. And I was really looking forward to going to the game, but Rachel felt that because she had been vomiting a day before and because my stomach was quite unsettled coming out the other end the day before, that we really shouldn't risk infecting anyone. So my brother Nick and sister-in-law Kat, they went to the game anyway. There they are with my buddy King Henry, who gave them complimentary Cyclones caps. And it seems like they had a good time. And they went to Nathan's, which is great. But my favorite restaurant there is Gargiulo's, except for pizza. Then I would go with Totono's. So I'm glad they had a good time, but I'm sorry we didn't get to go. I was very envious seeing the great time that they had. I'm one of those guys that I don't like to go anywhere. I don't like to, I have so many obligations that to me a real day off is not having to go somewhere. But Coney Island is one of those places where I just love to go. So today we're trying to figure out what we should be, and tomorrow, because we had a full agenda today and tomorrow, what we should be doing. I was supposed to run an errand with my mom this morning, and Rachel said, well, you really probably shouldn't go and get her sick if we're still contagious. So I don't know if we are still contagious. The last time Rachel vomited was, late Thursday night into Friday morning. Last time Carmine vomited was about 24 hours ago. We'll see how well he handles this chocolate milk. I have not vomited yet, but I have had quite an unsettled stomach. And so I don't know where that's going to go. We'll see. We were supposed to go after I ran this errand with my mom today to go to Pennsylvania to my cousin Charlie's graduation and birthday. We were to Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. But Rachel said, look, if we get everybody sick with this stomach flu, we're going to be quite the villains. So that's sort of what we're wrestling with now. I gave my cousin Gina, who's Charlie's mom, a heads up that we may not be able to make it there today. And she understood. She's got 3 children. And we'll see. I hope we can make it there, but we may not be. Now, tomorrow, very interesting day. is we were supposed to go out to Eastern Long Island, and you know how much we love that 2 hours worth of traffic on a holiday weekend out to Eastern Long Island and see all of Rachel's family for some birthday parties and stuff. But we're wondering if we should do that also. Now, my friend JFK is moving to San Francisco. He and his wife Priyanka are moving to San Francisco. So they're having a goodbye party in Princeton, New Jersey tomorrow. But we had already they invited us after we already confirmed to the Long Island people. So we told them we couldn't make that. Also, that same day, my friend Brendan is having a barbecue 2 blocks away. And if you listen to Friday morning show, which I do suggest you check out the podcast, the most important characteristic of any barbecue is that it be close. And for me, I think that's just phenomenal. But obviously we can't go to that if we're going to Long Island. So I think if we're declaring ourselves eligible, not for the NBA draft, but to attend things again tomorrow, I think we should allow all 3 of those entities, the Long Island Rachel family situation, JFK in Princeton, and Brendan 2 blocks away, to rebid and open ourselves up for whatever the better invitation, whatever the best offer is, right? Because there are different pluses and minuses to each. Obviously, you have convenience. You have the fact that we have friends that are moving far away. We won't go see a while. And you have what we had already committed to. But I think people should be able to rebid entirely if we're declaring ourselves eligible for going to things. Big thank you to the 30 people watching. Please be so good as to share and to like. Thank you, Michael Cutler, for your like. If you're watching on Facebook, feel free to give a comment. If you have a question, I'll be happy to address your questions. Again, we have some time here. Probably, I do want to watch that Michael Smirkanish YouTube preview video that he does. So I'm going to check that out. But he doesn't start till 9, so we've got some time. As long as Carmine doesn't vomit, then... What was that? Is that Carmine? Carmine! I don't know what that was. Okay. Hopefully that's okay. So last night we were home, and we were watching Wrestling SmackDown, which is one of the featured WWE programs that airs on Friday night. And they were doing it from Saudi Arabia. And hang on. Carmine, what are you doing, buddy? Let me help you. I'll take it over. You want to come say hello to the Facebook people?
No, you talk.
Okay, I'll talk. But I don't want you messing around with Mommy's office here.
No.
Come out of here.
No, Dad.
Come here.
No.
Here you go. I'll help you.
No, Dad. No.
Yes.
I want to leave my sleep sack on.
Okay, you can leave it on. It looked like you were taking it off. Come on, buddy. Let's come out of Mommy's office.
I want to see Mommy.
Mommy's still sleeping. Okay. You got this?
What?
Here, buddy. How are you feeling? Hey, you want to come say hello to everybody? You can come in there. Okay. You want to come say hello to everybody? Okay, I'll come watch Bluey in a minute, okay? Okay. All right. Carmen was just taking his sleep sack off, and he didn't want to, John Lanteri says, dude, there's 5 people watching you right now, and Bo is live on ABC. Does this matter that you're on live right now? First of all, I don't know. I don't even know that I understand the question. First of all, that's just on Facebook. There is a whopping 32 people watching, if you include the Twitter and the YouTube. But yeah, there's a lot of people airing on a lot of the great stations that I'm on. I'm not sure what Bo doing on WABC right now. I'm not sure how that affects me. So, do you not want to watch the videos? So just don't watch. I don't know what to tell you. If you want to listen to the radio, whether it's WABC or WCBM or KMOX or KDawn or WCCO or any of the other stations we're on, just go ahead and listen. So we're watching wrestling last night, and I'm trying to indoctrinate Carmine in terms of pro wrestling early, which my wife has mixed feelings about because she doesn't like necessarily see people for him to see people hitting and so forth. But I watched wrestling growing up, and I would argue that if I didn't turn out okay, then it wasn't because of wrestling. So in the last few years, female wrestling has really exploded. It was not that big of a deal. I mean, they had it, but it wasn't on an equal footing with men's pro wrestling, and now it is. Now there's a women's Royal Rumble, a women's King of the Ring, a women's equivalent of everything that runs with men. I'll be honest, I just can't get into female professional wrestling. I can't get into it. To me, women are the fairer sex, right? To me, women are to be cherished and valued, and I just don't like seeing women beat each other up. I don't know if anybody else feels that way. I'm curious if there are male pro wrestling fans who are watching. I'm curious what they think about this because it's not for me. Carmine, what are you doing? Sounds like he's touching something, which is not good. All right, Michael Cutler says me either. So there you have it. Okay, so we got Michael Cutler's endorsement. That's that. All right. Yesterday, so last Friday, my Uncle Steve has got a great auto body shop. If you ever need auto body work on Staten Island, definitely consider him. New Dimension over on Alaska Street. It's a great shop. And we had a ding on our side, and he was kind enough to fix it, mostly, almost 100%. He didn't do a full job that he would do but for somebody that was paying him. But we said, do whatever you can, the best you can do, without having for us to go through insurance. And he did. He really did a tremendous job to me, and I think to the untrained eye, it looks brand new. So my wife tells him last week, well, let me do something nice for your guys. Let me see if I can't. Let me see if I could send them some pizzas. He said, no, we already had lunch. But she says, okay, next week, maybe next week. And so then he says, great. On Fridays, I get them pizza. If you want to send pizza next Friday, that's great. Okay. So yesterday, my wife was deathly ill, and she's asleep around 2:30. So my Uncle Steve calls me and says something to the effect of, your wife said she was going to send pizza today. I usually get pizza around 3 o'clock, and let me know if I should get it. That's what he says. I said, no, don't get it. I'll get it. We're sending it over. It'll be there in 20 minutes. So I ordered pizza from one of the nearby places for them, thinking that Rachel forgot to do it, thinking that she's not able to do it because she's, going to be sick, thinking that this is not at the forefront of her mind because she's got all this, this stomach bug. And so I send pizza to arrive there around 3 o'clock. Rachel wakes up from her nap right around that time, 3 o'clock, and then she comes down and tells me, I just called to send Uncle Steve's guys pizza. I said, wait a minute. I just sent them pizza. And so lo and behold, she, as soon as she woke up from her nap, sent pizza because my Uncle Steve called her as well. And they ended up with a pizza surplus. So hopefully some of the guys got to take home some pizza. And but that was, they had, I think, maybe 6 pizza pies, whereas I think they probably would have been fine with 2. Hey, so we had this email newsletter that I put out, it's when I say newsletter, it's basically just a compendium of things that I'm doing, who I'm having on the radio, if I'm doing something special on the radio. And we had on Tulsi Gabbard this week, and I thought she was really interesting. If you didn't get to listen to that, please check out the podcast. You can either search Frank Morano interviews and more on any podcast app, or you can just go to wabcradio.com/Frank. So I put this email newsletter out and to my whole email list. And whenever I send one of these emails out, there's always a handful of people that end up unsubscribing because I guess they're reminded that they're on my email list and they don't particularly want to be on my email list, so they end up unsubscribing. So I lost, I think, 38 people in our last email blast, which is the opposite of what these email blasts are supposed to do. They're supposed to create more people that subscribe. And so if you want to be on my email list and you're not, you can either private message me with your email address and I'll add you, or shoot me an email at frank.morano@redappleaudionetworks.com. That's frank.morano@redappleaudionetworks.com. What are you doing, Carmine? Thank you to Ellen Mascosa and Vince Nascone for liking this video as well. And if you want to share this as well, that would help other people know that we're on the air, not on the air, but just riffing on social media here. Hey, this is a huge weekend for Atlantic City. I think half the people I know are in Atlantic City this weekend. So if you're one of those people, enjoy it. I'm envious of you. And there's so many great things to do in Atlantic City this weekend. And my friend Mark Colazzo's got that great new cigar lounge on Tennessee Avenue. I wish I was there. I'm going to try and pin Rachel down on getting a new date to go to Atlantic City sometime soon, because it's been way too long as a family. We haven't been there in easily 6 months, probably more. So I'm hoping we can schedule a trip there soon. I did this podcast with so it's funny. I had committed to this lunch on Wednesday with a fella who's a nice enough guy, but he's not high on my list of people to have lunch with, but I hadn't seen him in years, and he was calling incessantly. He needs something, as is always the case. And, I think he's looking for work. He wants to meet with me, see if I can get him work, and I'm happy to help him. And so I locked into this lunch. I had forgotten that. What do you got, buddy? Oh, that starts fire. You're not supposed to have that. That starts fire. Let me have that.
No.
Yeah, you can have that. We don't want you starting any fires.
You can fire, Daddy.
What?
No.
You can't have that.
I want the little one, Daddy.
Buddy, that's nail polish. That's Mommy's nail polish. Come here.
My bunny.
Okay, we'll get your bunny. Here, say hello to everybody. I asked Carmine if he wanted to say hello to everybody before, and he said, no, you talk, right? Did you say that? Yeah. Say hello to everybody.
No.
No? All right, you want to get your bunny? Go get your bunny. Okay, go get your bunny. All right, so that's that. Carmine, not in a talkative mood today, right? Okay, at least he's feeling good. So anyway, I go to this lunch on Wednesday, and I had realized Tuesday night into Wednesday morning that I had committed to doing this podcast for the National Psoriasis Foundation. And, I do what I can for the National Psoriasis Foundation, as you can tell by my flaky scalp and this situation on my nail, which I think is psoriasis. I have psoriasis. So I always try to help out people that are suffering. And I emailed the psoriasis folks, and I said, well, I have this lunch at 1:30, and I'm not sure if I can be available tomorrow. Do you want me to log in late for this podcast, or do you want me to just record my answers to your questions and you can edit them in? And she said, no, log in when you can log in, and we'll try and get you. We'll try and include you. So I log in at 2:46 on Wednesday. It's supposed to be an hour. Where you going, bud? Where you going? Supposed to be an hour. Oh, Michael's got it in his elbow. Michael, if you want to participate in our walk this year at the Bronx Zoo, it's a great event. They don't even really call it the walk; they call it Take Action Day. But it's a great, event to raise money for psoriasis and learn more about what they're doing. I don't know how active you are with the National Psoriasis Foundation, but anyway, I get home at 2:46 from this lunch. And I say to my wife, "Hey, I was supposed to log on to this thing at 2 o'clock, but I told them I was going to be late. Told them I had this lunch. Should I just say, should I just not be available?" She said, "Look, it's supposed to be an hour. Why don't you log on? This way you get credit. What are they going to keep you for 13 minutes?" So I do that. And look, I hadn't caught up on that day's emails yet. They tell me, "All right, no. We rescheduled this for tomorrow." Carly, what are you doing? We rescheduled this for tomorrow. And I said, okay. So I go on the next day and I do this podcast. And the other people, what are you holding? What do you got? Let me see.
I'm brushing my hair.
Oh, you're brushing your hair? Great. Come say hello to everybody. I think that's for cats, that brush. That's Prissy's cat hair brush. We have a special brush for you if you want to use it. Do you want me to brush your hair?
How about this toothbrush?
But that's for cats. No, that's for cats. Cats have different kind of hair than you do. You want to come here and sit with Daddy?
You can watch Bruce and Billy, Daddy.
Okay, we'll watch Bluey. But come here and say hello to everybody. No? You don't say hi? Come here. Yeah. Oh, my boy. How are you feeling? Good. Did you have some chocolate milk today?
Mm-hmm.
Did you vomit?
I did vomit.
You did vomit?
Is that for Prissy?
Yes, that's for Prissy. That's not for you.
Can I hold it?
You can hold it, yes.
Can I hold that microphone?
Absolutely not. Daddy needs that for work.
Can I hold your mouse?
Hey, how about you can hold these mystery sunglasses that somebody left here who we don't know whose they are. If these are your sunglasses, let me know. They've been here for about 6 months. We can't figure out how they
you
are.
want these sunglasses?
I don't know. I don't know. We asked everybody that we thought it might be, and so far
Is
we
that
don't know.
Mommy's?
She says no. It's not Aunt Claudia, not Grandma Steph, not T.T. Jess. We don't know who he is. Oh, Ellen McGuire says she loves your voice. Isn't that nice? Say thank you, Ellen.
Thank you, Ellen.
Yeah, very sweet. All right. So I ended up doing this podcast on Thursday, I think. And none of these other people that said they were going to be available were available. So they ended up recording a quick thing with me, which was great for me because it was only 15 minutes. And they're going to edit in the other people, which is precisely what I had offered in the first place. So I'll be on the lookout for that. And it should be uploaded soon.
Are these my glasses?
Those are not your glasses, but I don't know whose they are. So in the absence of anyone else claiming them, you can use them. So I'm going to post that. I don't know if it's going to be up probably Tuesday.
I want that, Daddy.
You don't want it? Okay, I'll put it over here. That's going to probably be up Tuesday, and we will share that on the Facebook at facebook.com/Morano fan. Then, hey, we watched the movie American Fiction yesterday. I'm going to give my review of that Monday morning on the radio. So you can stay tuned for that. I don't want to spoil it. It's a positive review. I'll tell you that. You know what I thought was interesting? There was an article in the New Jersey Monitor about John Bramnick. And I really like John Bramnick. John Bramnick, if you don't know, is the former leader of the New Jersey, is the former minority leader.
Oh, that's Daddy.
Yes, that's Daddy.
That's me.
That's you. That's right.
Me.
So John Bramnick is the former leader of
That's
the.
my friend was in the first place.
That's what. He's the former leader of the Senate of the Assembly Republicans, and now he's a state senator and he's running for governor. And I'm supporting him just because I think he's funny. Honestly, I don't mean to be so superficial, but that's true. I mean, it's certainly not based on his politics because the guy said that he was going to write in Dick Cheney for president. And honestly, anybody that writes in Dick Cheney for president, their politics are not, you know, their politics are not my politics. John Lanterry would have said runs live YouTube during your show. John, I again, I don't know if you're having a problem with formulating sentences or, in your case, sentence fragments. I have no idea what you're talking about. No, would have said, and it's a question. I don't know, John. If you want to rephrase, I'm happy to try and tackle your question. Anyway, John Bramnick, was an article about him. He's running for governor now in Jersey. One of the funniest comedians I've ever seen. And when I say funny comedian, I don't mean funny for a politician. I mean funny, period. He's just funny. It was an article in the New Jersey Monitor yesterday, and he ran for state senate last year, got elected. Barely. I mean, it was a very competitive race. It's really a Democratic district, and he got elected as a Republican. And in this article by Sophie Nieto Munoz, during the Union County Republicans campaign for the state senate in 2023, his treasurer intended to send money to a vendor, but because the intended recipient's account number was input incorrectly, the cash landed in the account of someone in Florida to the tune of $36,589. That person made a video of them showing off the tens of thousands of dollars of cash they received mistakenly, clinking bundles of bills as if they were champagne glasses. What, daddies? What, your pacifier? Or what? The Crocodile Dundee tape.
How about read it?
How about what? It's not a book. It's a tape. It's a VHS tape. So that person makes a video showing off this tens of thousands of dollars of cash they received. Go ahead. Okay, buddy. I love you. Go ahead. Watch Bluey. I'll join you in a minute. They received mistakenly. And this...
That's my chocolate milk.
What? Go ahead. I think you're out of it. I think you finished it. But that experience pushed Bramnick, who, again, is seeking the Republican nomination for governor, to add his name as the co-sponsor of a bill that would make it illegal to keep erroneous payments like this and other money transfers sent through apps like Venmo and Cash App if the receiver knows it was sent in error. And what was interesting to me about this is I didn't know that that wasn't already against the law, that you could actually keep accidental cash payments that are sent to you by accident. I had no idea. That's the case. So now, I would feel bad if somebody sent me $30,000 by accident. I would just send it back to them. But I'm thinking, wow, everybody should go through life just hoping you get, until they change this law, get sent $30,000 by accident. I mean, that's incredible. The vendor should have sent it back. I mean, that's the right thing to do. But I had no idea that wasn't already against the law. And maybe that doesn't speak well of Bramnick's ability to look out for the small details. But I thought that was interesting. Hey, I want to thank Fred Rubino and Jeremy Murphy, who were on the radio with me this week. I thought both of them were interesting. Jeremy Murphy's got this new book out called Too Good to Fact Check, Flying the Skies with Stars, Scotch, and Scandal. And we both had the same stalker for a while. But he was really good. And one of the things that we did is we, when he was on, we instituted for subscribers only on Facebook, the Murphy Cam, where we allowed a behind the scenes look at some of the things that were going on in the studio. And it's very interesting. You never know what goes on in those behind the scenes videos, because the guys that implement the Murphy Cam, or whatever the behind the scenes cam is, they forget that they're being videotaped, and they end up saying all sorts of things that they would never say on the radio. In this case, Jeremy brought this friend of his with him, and he said, before the guy came in, he said, "Oh, that guy's just a friend. You don't have to put him on the air." And I said, "Well, do you not want him to go on air?" He said, "No, don't go on air." So of course I put him on the air anyway. And then on the radio, I made all sorts of references to the fact, now I see why Jeremy didn't want you on the air. And the guy thought I was joking, I think, but I wasn't joking. So that's something that you could only really get and understand if you were a subscriber. So if you want to subscribe, you can go to facebook.com/become supporter/Morano fan, or if you're watching this now on Facebook, yeah, you can use the Brandon Lord method, where you can click the overview button under the comments box, then scroll to the bottom and click the subscribe button. It's only 99 cents a month. It's the best 99 cents a month you'll ever spend, and it is the kind of content you really can't get anywhere else. Might be the kind of content you don't want anywhere else, but at least it's exclusive content. It's the biggest bang for your buck you will ever get. So please go ahead and subscribe. Oh, speaking of, and if you have a question, anybody that's watching, go ahead, just put it in the comments. We'll try and get to you. And if you're watching this like Alphonse is now, please, please go ahead and share this before Smirkanish, because I don't want to take anybody away from Smirkanish. Michael writes, "The small details, Ralph, the small details." Michael, clearly a Honeymooners fan as I am. There was one other story out of New Jersey which caught my attention. So the New Jersey Department of Education has ruled that it's not an act of bullying. This is from My Central Jersey's Mike Deek. It's not an act of bullying to call a Bridgewater Raritan middle school student who brought a Nerf gun to class a school shooter. Acting Commissioner of Education Kevin Deemer has agreed with an administrative law judge's ruling that the Bridgewater Raritan School District's decision to address the name calling as a code of student conduct violation, not as an act of bullying, was correct. The mother of the child who was called a school shooter, this is a kid that brought a Nerf gun to school, had appealed the district's decision not to investigate the name calling as a bullying incident. Boy, she put a lot of effort into seeing if her kid was bullied. I wish she had put that same amount of effort into not making sure he brought a Nerf gun to school. But okay, kids will be kids. The case began in the 2021-2022 school year when the sixth grader brought a Nerf gun to school, according to court papers. Listen to this. This is the part of the story that I found the most amazing. The student received a 45-day suspension. 45 days. The school district told the mother that the incidents did not meet the state's criteria for bullying because his act of bringing a Nerf gun to school was not a distinguishing characteristic as required by state law. Now, I'm not going to weigh in terms of whether it was bullying or not, because I don't know what bullying is and what's just whatever else they called it. But you should not get suspended from school for 45 days for bringing a Nerf gun. I mean, that's crazy. 45 days for bringing a Nerf gun to school? That is absolutely outrageous. That should not happen. Gilliana checking in from down under, saying, "Good day, Frank. Enjoy your weekend." You know, Gilliana, I am a fan of the Crocodile Dundee movies. To me, Paul Hogan, as Robert Downey Jr. says in that movie, Tropic Thunder, is a national treasure. I think he's a national treasure in two nations. My brother, Nicholas, who I showed you the picture when he was at the ball game yesterday with my sister-in-law, Kat, and King Henry there, they got me this tape from Australia. It's Crocodile Dundee, a genuine Australian version of it. So I am curious to see if this will play in my VCR. If I'm stuck home today because of this stomach virus, then we will, oh, the newspapers are here. Carmine, the newspapers are here. We got to go get the newspapers. Then we will get the answer to that to see if it actually plays in my VCR. My wife, I don't think, has ever seen Crocodile Dundee, so it'll be a fun experience for her as well. We also, she had never seen Fletch, and I'm ashamed to admit this, I'd never seen the sequel to Fletch, Fletch Lives. So if we do end up staying home today, first of all, she's got a barrage of chores for me to do. I think I'm doing something in the backyard. I'm going to be on the roof for something. Again, the guy that's always labeled as not handy is somehow called upon again and again to do all these household tasks. But we'll see. So there's a lot of drama. Will we go to Bethlehem, Pennsylvania today? Who knows? Tomorrow, where will we be? Will we be in Eastern Long Island? Will we be in Princeton, New Jersey? Or will we be 2 blocks away? Wouldn't that be nice? We'll see. I mean, they're good people at each of those parties. So I'm looking forward to seeing everybody or anybody, or maybe nobody, depending on if my wife decides we're all too sick, still likely to be contagious. By the way, does anybody know watching this how long you're contagious after getting a stomach flu? Like if Carmine hasn't vomited in 24 hours, are we out of the woods for going to something this afternoon? Or are we not out of the woods? Is he still contagious? I don't know. Hey, I want to thank, so far 2 people that were at the William Shatner premiere of You Can Call Me Bill did give me these cool posters. Lauren Conlon, who was there, I was invited, but we were away. We were in Disney World for my dad's birthday. Lauren Conlon was there. She gave me not only this cool poster, but these terrific commemorative Shatner lapel pins. Now, I love lapel pins. These are lapel pins that I am not going to wear because I'm going to save them as a collector's item. As you can see, we have stuff just piling up. I have a lot of other lapel pins here. Some of them collectible, some of them not so collectible. Ooh. You see, this is WABC's Hispanic Heritage Day in 2022. This is my lapel pin for being a member of La Malt Imperial, which is a private club right up the block. So if anyone wants to join that, by the way, I'm willing to sponsor you. So just email me if you want to potentially be a member. I'll invite you there for a drink, and then if you want to be a member, I'll sponsor you. I mean, it costs a pretty penny, but it's a fun group, and I'm trying to get more Morano people there because my friend Judge Lantry has kind of taken over that whole operation. So I'm trying to get a little bit more Morano-centric folks there. Just email me, frank.morano@redappleaudionetworks.com. Larry asked a question: what are you going to Bethlehem for? Roads are going to be packed. So it's my cousin Charlie's birthday and his graduation. So we were going to go there for that this afternoon, but we still all have this stomach bug. So we're not sure if we can, I'm not sure if we're contagious. Well, not me, my wife. I mean, if it was up to me, I'd be going around infecting people like crazy, which just drives her crazy. So she doesn't think that that's a wise thing. Still got my solar glasses, which I'm holding on to in case it helps me monitor any solar flares or solar activities or sunspots. We'll go out when we get the newspapers in a bit and go out and check that out. All right. If we are stuck home today, which is a distinct possibility, George Santos reached out to me yesterday. He was at that rally that President Trump did in the Boogie Down Bronx, and he wants to talk about it. So maybe I'll invite him in one of these YouTube interviews or Facebook interviews. That'll probably just be for subscribers. So if you want to see that interview with George Santos, do become a subscriber. Click the overview button under the comments box, scroll down to the bottom and click the subscribe button. And we'll take your questions during the interview as well. Big hello not only to everybody watching, but Dabalip Munagam Kingsley, who is tuning in as well. Those of you that are watching this, the 64 of you on Twitter, aka X, and the 4 of you that are on Facebook, please be so good as to share this so that more people watch this. Fred Rubino was in studio this week. He was rocking his new Frank Morano hat. If you want to get one, you can go to the WABC Radio Store. Go to WABCRadiostore.com. Hey, bud.
I want some food, Daddy.
You want some food?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What do you want to eat? What would you like? You want, what do you want to eat? I gave you some Cheerios. What do you think you might like?
I want some.
What?
I want some snacks, Daddy.
Some snacks?
Yeah.
What kind of snacks?
I want to go on the counter.
Okay. You were on the counter this morning and you fell down. You aware of that? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And yet you still want to go on the counter again.
Yeah, Dad.
Okay. See, I give you credit for not being deterred. All right.
I want to go on the counter.
You want to go on the counter?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm going to have to guard you so that you don't fall again, okay?
Okay.
All right. What do you think you might want to eat?
Some really big snacks.
Some big snacks? Some big snacks? Hey, were we watching wrestling yesterday?
Mm-hmm.
Did you like it?
Mm-hmm.
What did you like best about it? What do you like best?
I want to go
Okay.
some socks.
All right. This young man. Oh, Michael Cutler wants to know if you want spaghetti. Do you want spaghetti?
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe we'll make you some spaghetti. Michael Cutler is a loyal subscriber.
I want some socks.
So he's paying for these snacks. He's paying for your snacks.
No, I want some snacks.
Okay. All right. We're gonna get you some snacks. Okay, buddy. You've been very patient. You're such a good boy. I will be on the radio Sunday night into Monday morning. So those of you that have the 3-day weekend today, enjoy it. I'll be on the air.
Socks.
Those of you that have not,
I want some
listen to the
socks.
podcast. Please subscribe and send stars if you're on Facebook so we can afford to buy this young man some snacks. Say bye, everybody.
Bye.
Have a beautiful time.
Oh, the mouse.